costs to the public, and I know that there's also a payoff, right, to upholding the law, so I'm not saying, versus. But these are the actions of a public official drawing on public resources.
Yeah, the cost, I think, comes down to two kind of separate concepts. One is the out-of-pocket money that it costs in attorney's fees, for example, not just for my office, obviously the people in my office who worked on the case and their salaries, but we also had to hire outside counsel for quite a few things. If you trace this back to where this all started, this happened in April and May of 2021, and we learned about it in August of 2021, and fairly shortly thereafter, the county attorney's office had to, on behalf of the county commissioners, file a civil action to remove Ms. Peters as the designated election official.
Mm-hmm.
That required outside counsel, in-house counsel. The attorney general was involved, representing the Secretary of State. Ultimately, the Secretary of State's office and the county disagreed on who got to appoint the designated election official, but they both agreed that it shouldn't be Ms. Peters, and so they kind of worked together. While they both thought that they had the right to make the appointments, they decided that cooperatively working together to just get somebody in there.
Yeah.
And so they ended up getting Sheila Reiner locally, as well as Wayne Williams, the former Secretary of State. Once that election was over, that was the primary election. They had to then do a general election.
Oh, God, the
coming up.
expenses are extraordinary.
So while all this is happening, one of the co-defendants, Belinda Nisley, had been pressuring workers at the county not to cooperate on behalf of Ms. Peters, and so she ended up getting told to leave and that she couldn't be on county property, and she got arrested for burglary for going back to the office and getting on the computer without permission. So while that parallel case is going on, Ms. Peters ended up recording Judge Barrett with her iPad, and that was brought to his attention. It turned into something that resulted in a contempt action being brought against Ms. Peters for recording him and lying about it. And then when they tried to serve the search warrant, law enforcement, the DA investigators, and the police department tried to serve the search warrant to get her iPad at the bagel shop. She ended up on video trying to kick several officers and ended up getting charged with obstructing government operations. So there was a contempt trial, there was an obstructing government operations trial.
I mean, the tentacles that you're describing with this case.
Yes. All of this while we have other people running our elections. I think the cost was about $600,000 that the county had to avoid by signing a new contract with Dominion. Dominion agreed to absorb the $600,000 cost to give us new computers because the Secretary of State decertified all the computers because we didn't know what she had done to them. So there's a huge financial...
It's tough math to come up with, Dad.
Right. And I keep getting asked questions about other people I might want to charge, and I still do have within the statute of limitations the ability to charge Sharona Bishop and Conan James Hayes. I'm really hoping that the federal authorities file some charges against them, and I know they have some restrictions with election times, and so, hopefully we'll have an answer soon as to whether or not there's going to be federal charges. But I keep getting asked the question, am I going to pursue more charges? And I think the cost to this community has been so great as far as all the different things we've gone through, the regular newspaper stories about it, how others around the country view Mesa County. I mean, this is a fantastic, beautiful county that has great mountain biking and wine industry and amazing university and all these great things that we want to champion.
And this presumably safe elections.
Right, and this is what we're known for. I think it's time to move on.
Oh. This came